Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Now it is the July 4th weekend, and what better way to do it than drive a classic American car. Now what I have here today is a Jeep Wrangler. This is the current generation that was made for 2018. Now my daughter is with me here somewhere, I don't know where she is, but she is such a big fan of the Wrangler, so I'm gonna get her opinion on this car. So we're gonna drive this car for two reasons, okay? Now, number one is I've always wanted to drive this updated version of the Jeep Wrangler, and number two, I work in construction. I'm an inspector of roadways and bridges, and I go on job sites all the time, and my Mazda right there is not the most, off-road capable. So my wife thought, you should get a Jeep. So I thought, I don't know. I don't really picture myself in a Jeep, but it would be nice to drive one. So my neighbors behind me have one, and I thought July 4th weekend. So we're gonna take a look at this. There she was right there. We're gonna take a look at this JK Wrangler, and we're gonna go through all the quirks and features. There's lots of Easter eggs around, and then we're gonna get it on the road and see what it's like to drive. Now I drove this Jeep over here, right there, that black one, a couple years ago, and it was honestly it was okay. It was not all it was cracked up to be, but I think that this new one is a lot nicer to drive and be around. Hi! Say hi.
Hi, it's Vivian.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at this Jeep Wrangler Sahara. Here we go. Okay, so here's Vivian, and she's always been a fan of Jeeps, right, Viv?
Mm-hmm.
So just tell me what you like about the Jeeps.
I like that it's a pearly white color, like all of our other
I know,
cars.
we are the white gang. We've got my car's white.
Daddy's car, GemmyD on Cars.
That's right.
And I have one more thing to say. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and comment down below if you like this Jeep.
Yes. Now, so what else do you like about the Jeep?
That I like that when the top comes out, and when it's like a hot summer day, you can
Right.
like get on the top and then enjoy the fresh air.
Yes, I completely agree.
And I like that there's a tie on the back.
Yeah, this is like an off-roading car, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. That is what she likes about the Jeep, and I agree with her. This would be, this would fit in on my construction sites perfectly. And Jeeps are cars that have so many different ways of customizing. You could take the top off, you could take just this section off. You can have a soft top that goes a bunch of different ways. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the engine and everything. Okay, thank you, Viv. Okay, so there's a couple different trim levels of Wrangler. There's the Sport, which is essentially the bottom spec, and then there's the Sahara, which is more the luxury one. That's kind of what I would want. And then there's the Rubicon, which is more of the off-roading. There's a bunch of other special edition ones, Moab, or a bunch of different ones. But if I was getting one, I would honestly get this exact trim, the Sahara, because the tires are not so big and it's a little bit more luxurious on the inside. So all Jeeps, there is a 4-cylinder option. This one does not have it. Now this car has a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6, 285 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60, who cares? You don't buy a Jeep to do 0 to 60 times. The one thing that is sort of bad about this car is the fuel economy is pretty terrible. I think it's like something like 18 and 23. So that would be one, con if I had to drive an hour away for work. But the looks, I think, look really good for this updated generation. So let's take a look at a couple Easter eggs. Okay, now I just said Easter eggs, and Viv was like, what is an Easter egg? So an Easter egg is, I talked about that in that Jeep over there. An Easter egg is something that is sort of like a hidden little feature of the car that some people see but others don't. So there's one right here on the wheel that is like an old military style Jeep. There's I think a couple others, when you turn the car on, and before there was one up in the windshield right there.
What about this
one? Yeah, that's trail rated. So one thing about this car, you can actually take the windshield down. It will rest right here. Now these double as like a what do you call it, windshield wiper fluid right there. But then when you can take the whole windshield and completely put it down right here. I don't think you've been able to do that on any Wranglers for a couple generations, which is pretty cool. What?
There's another Jeep one.
Yeah, there's an old school looking, you know, CJ Jeep. But yeah, I love the wheels and tires. I don't think they're too big and ostentatious. They're just a nice classy looking wheel. Now this one is a Sahara. Now this feature right here is special to this model of Jeep, and the previous Jeeps have been, I think this just lets airflow a little bit better in the front. You've got running boards here. Yeah, so just like the top you could take off all the doors completely, and when you take the bolts out of the windshield or the doors, there's a spot in the back here. Watch this, Viv. There's a spot in the back here where you put all of the bolts, which is a really, really cool feature right there. All the roof bolts you put right there, all the door hinges you put right there. It's just a really cool engineering feature just to have a place for them, I mean, in this thing. Plus, also, when you take all the stuff off the Jeep, you know, when you take the bolts and everything off, there's actually a little toolbox that comes with the car that comes with it right here. I guess it's not right here, but there's a little wrench and a bunch of other Allen wrenches that are usually stored right here in the car. So it's just something that's really cool. People that buy Jeeps, the manufacturer knows that they're going to do these type of things and take them off. I mean, if it was the winter, obviously you'd want the hard top on. If it's a day like today, you'd want to take the top off because it is super hot. Now, when you take the top off, these rails here are body colored, and that is what is visible with the top off, which is just a cool feature of this car that not many other cars have. You can't really, aside from being a convertible, you don't really take the top off of any cars. So another cool thing about this car, this is the blind spot monitor right here that shoots this way, you know, to see if cars are there, and they have to do that because this fender sticks out right there. Another cool feature.
Daddy,
I guess
what's this again?
that's the gas cap. That's where you put the gas in. Yeah, so all Jeeps have this little bar right here that tells you all your sizes. Yeah, 2-door, 4-door, water fording. It says you can go in 30 inches of water at 5 miles per hour. Like, that's how good this car is off-roading. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now another cool feature. This is the camera right there, but you can take this off. You know, there's a bolt right there, as you can see. It says lock and unlock. You could take this metal shroud off to take the tire off if you got bigger tires or if you needed one. But this thing is like, it's not plastic, it's metal, so you wouldn't have to worry about messing up the camera. If you wanted to get bigger tires and wheels, you can actually move this third brake light up and down to like accommodate for bigger tires in the back. That's just something that you know that Jeep people do a lot. By the way, this is the coolest sticker I've seen in a while, the child on board. This is the way. But yeah, I think I like the redesign of what they did with the styling. It would have been cool to maybe do something a little different. I mean, this Jeep sort of looks like all other Jeeps, you know, that have come before, but I think this is by far the best looking one that they've done. So move around front. Now, there's no inside latch handle for the hood. I mean, you can just go up to any Jeep Wrangler and just take these two things off and open up the hood, and the hood will go completely the whole way back and rest on the windshield. It goes so far back. So another thing that's different about this car is that there's no Jeep logo right here. Like that Jeep over there it says Jeep on the thing, but this is the iconic grille with the Jeep. It's got the 7 slats, and yeah, I just like what they do. You've got the turn signals up here. Some of them have like an LED package. That is your turn signal, plus half of it is the LED. And look, there's another Easter egg right there. In the headlights is a little grill right there. You see that? You see this? It looks like a classic Wrangler right there. Let's go along with the grill right here. Yeah, there's just lots of cool little touches that they do.
I pretend that the Mazda 6 Daddy's car and Mommy's car, which I forget what was it called. What is it?
Audi.
Audi, yeah. I always pretend that these are the 2 eyes and this is the nose.
Yep, that's right. Or that could even be the mouth too. Yeah. So yeah, that is the outside of the Jeep. I like what they've done. You like it the way this car looks?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. All right, so let's take a look at the inside. All right, We're going on the inside of the Wrangler. Now, like I said before, the Sahara is more of the luxury trim. This is nice black leather with like white stitching right here. I love the door pulls. They're just plastic right here. That sort of evokes sort of like the off-road type thing that you disconnect that when you want to take the doors off. But yeah, the quality of this is pretty good. So I'm gonna hop in. Ooh, I'm definitely not used to getting in the car as big as this, and we're gonna turn it on because it's so hot. Now watch the little graphic. Watch the little graphic when it turns on. There's an old school looking Jeep that morphs into a new school Jeep. That's a nice little touch.
Wait, I didn't see that.
All right, well, I'll do it again in a minute. Okay, so this is where I think there's been a big improvement over the last gen Jeep, that one over there, the JK. I guess this is the JL. Yeah, I like it a lot. Everything is rubber. I think you could even like hose down the interior of this car because there's lots of rubber everywhere. You know, it's made to be rugged like every other Jeep. So we've got transmission right here. There is a manual transmission. This car obviously does not have it. Now this has the typical, you know, Dodge Jeep infotainment system, which I think is pretty nice. I think my buddy Will that had a Jeep, his screen was typical like this. But yeah, this is pretty nice. I'm definitely not used to having, you know, a windshield that is that far up. I'm used to having more of an angle. But yeah, see, that's the clips you take off when you want to take the roof off.
What, really?
Yeah, see, this car is so different from what we're used to. The speakers are up top.
There's a mirror.
Yeah, here's the clips to take the tops off. So yeah, this is just so different than what I'm used to in a car, but I think it is kind of cool. I mean, now that I've just sat in this and I drove this just across the neighborhood to get here, I kind of feel like I could maybe picture myself in this car. I just think it would be cool.
Right now, 'cause I'm in it.
Yeah, Viv I think would really love to be in the back, and with the top down and everything. That's what you like, I think, the best,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, never mind. It's fine.
Okay. So yeah, the quality is nice. I don't see really any like cheap plastic. Like I don't know if that's because of this is the Sahara trim, but yeah, I like the gauges. There's your tachometer and your speedometer. I think you can go through a bunch of different options. You know, fuel economy, temperature, outside, vehicle information. Yeah, range 83, and there's about a quarter tank left. So yeah, that's, like I said, that's the only bad thing about this car. The fuel economy is not the greatest. So yeah, this is a typical, you know, Jeep instrument cluster here. There's the window switches right there, which are kind of interesting to use.
Dude.
You can put them down.
Whoa.
Here, do yours.
Okay.
Push down then, push in. Yep. So yeah, the quality is nice. I like the handle here. I like the circular gauges right here. All right, well, we don't want to let the air out.
Oh yeah.
So I am impressed with this interior. I just think it would be a little bit to get used to, like the windshield being so close to you. So you want to check out the back seat?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So going to the back seat of the Wrangler. Now I have the seat where I think I would sit. Now Viv, come on back here, because if I ever got this car, you would definitely be the one that is in here. Now there's the same little circular dials here, which is nice. There's no screen to talk about temperatures or anything, but this is a Jeep. You know, this is not an ultimate luxury car. So yeah, it's just interesting to see the speakers here. This is just, I'm gonna keep saying it, but it's just different than what I'm used to. So what do you think? Do you think you could fit in this okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do like, I think there's like a brown leather too you could get, which I would like, but I don't mind the white. Now this is decent space. You're sitting more upright, but I'm not absolutely squashed into the seat in front of me, because that's where I had it. But yeah, here you can see the design of the interior, which I think is pretty nice. What's up?
At the end of the video, guys, I'm gonna show you, if my dad is okay with it, I'm gonna show you all of my rocks I just painted yesterday. And,
Okay.
They're really pretty.
All right, we can do that. All right, now let's take a look at the trunk. So let's check out the trunk of the Wrangler. Now you've always got the two-piece thing here. Now these slats are here if you wanted to like tie some bags if you go outdoorsing, I guess you could say. We already talked about that. So watch your head. Always had this like split window right here. Now this trunk is definitely a pretty good size. You got a nice subwoofer over there. Everything is wrapped in plastic in case you would go off-roading and get things wet. But yeah, this is pretty big. I'll flash on the screen how many cubic feet of storage it is. But yeah, this is just like a typical Jeep. This little indent right there is for the wheel. So
I can still like sit right here.
yeah, I gotta be honest. I wasn't sure what to expect about this car, but I'm really digging it. I don't know if I'd want another white car, but I would definitely get the Sahara trim as opposed to the Rubicon. Yes.
If we ever get a Jeep Wrangler, can we have the not a white color?
Yeah, I don't think I'd get a white one.
Yay! Can
Yeah.
we get like a green one or something? Not the snotty green, because that looks disgusting.
Snotty green.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's the trunk of the Wrangler. All right, so let's wrap this video up and get this thing on the road. All right, so just to wrap up this quick video about a walkthrough of the Jeep Wrangler, I gotta admit, I'm really digging this car, SUV. You know, this is one of the all-time classic American SUVs in the Jeep Wrangler. Definitely would be on the Mount Rushmore of American cars, probably with, you know, Corvette, you know, F-150, Mustang. But I think the quality has gotten a little bit better for this generation, which just came out in 2018. I'd love to get my hands on a Gladiator, the truck. I know Viv really likes the truck one too.
Yeah.
So I hope to maybe get a chance to get one of those or get behind the wheel of one of those one day. So I like what they're doing. I can't think of anything wrong with this car other than the fuel economy. And once I get out on the highway, I'm gonna see how that is to drive, you know, because I do quite a bit of highway driving when I go to work. So let me know what you think about the Jeep Wrangler, you know, as a car. I'm trying to stay in the shade, but just to get the car behind me. So yeah, Viv's recording now too. Just be careful. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Jeep. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GemmyD on Cars. So stay tuned for the drive video. Should be coming out very soon. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. What?
I have one more thing. We love you all! GemmyD on Cars.
Yeah.
Car fans.